Yep. Hey guys, how are you? It is Tracy Black. So I posted in the wrong group, so I'm posting it now in the right group. So thanks so much for joining me. I want to talk to you today about 8 ways, actually 9 ways, to automate your business so that it is faster, better, you have more time to focus on IPAs. If you guys know me at all, you know that I am all about making things simpler for you, right? And just making it easier so that you have the time to focus on your IPAs. There are some things you can automate, which is what we're going to talk about today. There are some things you should never automate, like the connections that you're making with your members or your leaders, right? Teaching classes or, the follow-up, that should all be you. Or social media, right? That should be authentic, okay? That should not be automated, but there are many, many things that you can do for your business to make it easier, faster, better. So number one thing that you can do to automate your business is recycle content. I want you to think about your Facebook groups, right? So either you, have a Facebook group that you've created, or you've got one with your upline, right? Maybe you use my Facebook group for oily education, but you're funneling your new people into some Facebook group. But think about it like this. There's a constant influx of new people coming in, right? They're not going to see content that was amazing, but from a year ago. They're not gonna go and search through your group. They're not gonna go search through your files. I'm gonna be honest, they probably won't even look at your pinned post. So know that and think about how you can think about your group as like a 3-month cycle. That's what I think about with my group is there's a constant influx, right? And so every 3 months, those really good posts, let's go through and recycle them. So don't keep it buried, okay? If you just bump an old post, a lot of people won't see that. I will often take that post from a year ago, 2 years ago, even 6 months ago, and recreate it in a new post. Sometimes I'll even just switch out the picture so it looks fresh and new, but the content is the same, right? Most people won't even notice it, but your new people will find tremendous value in it because you guys are amazing content creators. So, make sure you're recycling old content. And a few examples of this, maybe you did like a challenge or a themed class, right? Like you did Names Your Red challenge. You talked about the benefits of the Kid Sense kit. You talked about the Feelings kit. You probably have a series of content, right? A series of posts or really good content, really good posts that are buried in your group. So recycle it. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, do like tasks together. So for instance, if you're in Facebook and writing, a different post, do that together. If you're taking photos, do that together. If you're calling, right? Calling your leaders to see how they're doing, calling your members, right? Maybe you're calling prospects, do that together. The follow-up, do it together. So it helps your brain when you sort of do these like tasks together, because otherwise when we're doing a phone call, then doing a photo, then writing, then going back to the phone call, it's like we keep switching gears a little bit too much. So I like to do things in like a good, 30-minute to 1-hour chunk of time and really bam it out and really get it in there, and then I'll move on to something else. Number 3, this is really, really key, you guys, okay? Canned content, canned responses, okay? So think about your messages to a prospect, to your fence sitters, right, who said they wanted it, but they haven't gotten a kit yet, to your new signups, your welcome letter, your 0 PV people about to go inactive, even your rank ups, okay? You are sending messages out to people all the time. So create these canned messages and then, change the first name, maybe tweak based on whatever conversation you've had with them before, but copy and paste. I use the notes feature on my phone or on my laptop. There's also a great app called Evernote that actually syncs from your phone to your laptop, which is really cool. But definitely do those canned responses. In fact, you can check the file section of this group. We've done canned responses here, like what to say to, what's a welcome letter look like? What does a 0 PV message look like? What does a message to an inactive person look like? So search this group, right? And then you can tweak it so that it's your own voice, but then use those canned messages, and that will save you a ton of time. Another option is number 4, use Project Broadcast. So this is a mass texting tool. And what I love about this is before I was using Project Broadcast, I would send out these canned responses, right? Like to my new rank ups, and I would individually send them, but they were canned messages, right? So I just changed the name or changed the rank. And so that would save me some time, but Project Broadcast has saved me so much time in the long run. So if you have the budget for it, it's about $10 a month, depending on how many messages you're sending out. It could be even less, but it's a great tool. It's a huge time saver, so I would highly recommend it. But if you don't want to get that, at least do the canned messages and send out via text. But I'll give you an example for rank ups. All I do is go into the virtual office, download a report of my new rank advanced people. I've got a canned message for my rank ups. I plug it into Project Broadcast. Like the whole process probably takes me 2 minutes, and boom, I can easily send out 100, 200, 500 different text messages in that short amount of time. So it's fantastic. If you're looking for a tutorial on how to use Project Broadcast, be sure to search this group. I did a tutorial on that. The next thing, number 5, this is my secret sauce, okay, right here. This is my little secret to automation, is questions. This also will go into number 6, which is called user-generated content. So I want you to think about it like this. Questions are really engaging to people. So you've probably seen this in the oily chat group where I'll ask a question, right? So something that you could ask is, what's in your purse right now? What are your favorite oils to sleep with? What oils did you use on the kids this morning, right? Like these are all great questions. And what happens is it inspires your members or your leaders, depending on where you're posting it, to respond and engage. So it is fantastic for engagement. So easy to do. And here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I've got like a good 20 to 25 questions. I will post it here. You guys can repurpose it. So here's what I've done. So this is like even taking the automation to a whole nother level, is I've got these 20 to 25 questions. I've put it into an app called SynchShare, which is fantastic. You should definitely look into SynchShare, and I'll talk more about it in just a little bit. But you can schedule posts to go out, and I can actually set up intervals for it, for instance, right? Like post a question every Tuesday or every 3 days or whatever you decide to do. Weekends would be really good. So I've kind of set it up in that manner, and it's been such a huge time saver. So if you don't have SynchShare, you could just go into Facebook and schedule those questions to go out to save a bunch of time. Okay, so questions are a type of user-generated content. So what does that mean? It's sort of nerdy, techie talk for the audience, or like the people you're talking to are the ones that actually come up with the content. So rather than me listing out 20 different oils that you could have in your purse or 20 different oils that you could use for sleep, right? I ask the question, what oils did you use for sleep? And then we've got tons of different responses. So this also works really well for other things, right? So this is another great idea, is you could do, for instance, oils of the starter kit in your group, but rather than you give out the answer, you could do something like this. Create a cute little graphic. Maybe it's just a purple graphic on WordSwag, right? That's another great tool. And you could say, tell us your favorite way to use lavender. Remember to be FDA compliant. Rather than you having to type out 20 different ways to use lavender, it's your member group, right, who's going to come up with those different answers, okay? So this works really well if you've got at least, I would say, maybe 300 people in your group. If you've got a smaller group of like less than 100, it's gonna be more of you producing the content in the beginning, right? So you gotta get that number up. But when you've got a larger group, it works really, really well. Something else that I would recommend is batching. So you can batch posts and you can batch photos, okay? So think about ongoing posts that your members need. Maybe it's a post like this, okay? So something that I like to do is I like to always talk about ER, but I like to talk about it in different ways. So today I did an unboxing video. Probably next week I'll do something like, how many ER points do you have, right? And take a screenshot of what I currently have. That could be a batched post, right? Like you could post that to go maybe on the 15th of this month, the 15th of next month, the 15th of the following month. You could do another post that's, who's got PV Assist set up. So sort of like these everyday admin things that people need to do, right? Set up their PV Assist, what's on their ER points. For leaders, it could be something like, do you know about our class scripts? Do you know about our business videos? Those are easy things that you can schedule within Facebook, or if you have an app like SendShare, you could do it in there too. The other thing that I would recommend batching is photos. So if you're using photos for a class, if you're using photos for social media posts, take a bunch of them together rather than take one, then go do something else, then take another one, then go do something else. Because again, your brain's sort of in that mode where it's like, okay, I'm ready to take a bunch of photos, and you can do it all at once. Okay, and then number 8, as far as tips to automate your business, is curate content. So this is kind of just nerdy talk for when you see something you like in someone else's group, right? Your upline, crossline. Ask them if you can use it and then reuse it. This is awesome. I do this all the time. And if you didn't already know this, there is a save feature. So when you go through your personal timeline and you see different posts, you can save posts. I do this all the time. I save it, and then I'll go to my save post later, and then I'll check out to see, okay, which ones do I want to repurpose? So maybe someone did a great post about the Thieves Kit or the Feelings Kit. I can then take that and repurpose it. So that's another great thing that you can do. You could even change up the photos if you like. Sometimes I like to change photos out because people who may have seen it in different places, they'll be like, oh, what's this? It looks new. And it's really easy to do, especially with something like a Word Swag app. Something else that I like to do with Word Swag, this goes along the lines of batching photos, is if I know I'm going to be doing a bunch of, for instance, like oils of the starter kit, I could do a purple graphic, right? Tell us your favorite way to use lavender. Then I'll do a green graphic. Tell us your favorite way to use peppermint. Then I'll do a yellow graphic. Tell us your favorite way to use lemon. And I'll do them all at the same time, right? Because I'm batching when I create, and then you could batch when you schedule them. So sort of batching together, which is fantastic. So those are my 8 tips to automate your business. We talked about this at Winter Harvest. We had such a great time doing this. But yes, you guys, questions at the very least, I would get those into your schedule, get those into your everyday task list, get those in there, because it's such a great way to engage your audience, right, without you coming up with the content. So I'm gonna post in just a little bit my favorite 20 questions to ask members to kind of get the conversation going. If you've got tips for automation that you like to use that helps you to do things faster, simpler, or better, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you.